Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. 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 Hello once again and welcome to Poetry in Motion Sunday. I'm Craig Lewis and you're watching episode 86. As we begin with my first poem, and this one's called A Moment for the Cameraman. Sun was out, pretty ladies bathing so their buns was out. Pumped men flexing on this day so the guns was out. Drinks were poured, true personalities were coming out. The vodka, the brandy, the whiskey, the rum. The objective was so plain, keep on drinking till it's done. Finish what you start. Seemed to be the vibe here in this caravan park. Then a gent passed a remark to some guys he had befriended. His kindness wasn't genuine, it mean he had pretended. Things would have went left had the accused not managed to prevent it. The accuser made an accusation and really meant it. When the words ran from his mouth, to quote this very sentence, "Have you seen a red dragon? It's missing from my caravan." Scrubbing up when they denied it like he was an Ali fan. The two men he accused sussed the situation, and hence they kept their cool. They knew it was the case that he couldn't handle his booze. Then took him into his caravan, solved the mystery. It was a moment for the cameraman. And moving on to my second poem, this one is called Knowledge is King. As pretty as the sky looks when illuminated by the sovereign eye, singing as I travel like the birds up in the sky, wouldn't be such a bad way to die if it was my last breath. Hand stressed to the wayside and continue to drive through my rear view, watch a hitchhike for another ride. I see life through a set of other eyes, no longer victimized like picked on chubby guys in the playground. It's a turnover. I see the bully laying on the same ground, like the victim threw a punch that made him stay down. On my head stays the same crown once worn by Mansa Musa. Such mindset could do your future such positive things. Not every champ has got in the ring, but knows how to hold their own. See, the knowledge is king. Not every champ has got in the ring, but knows how to hold their own. See, the knowledge is king. And moving on to my third and final poem of the day, this was called Until It's Closing Time. Standard scene, he fell for the woman in the magazine. And he's keen to pull it off, but can he do it really? A visionary, clearly, one would be weary round him. 'Cause anything he said'll have before with that they found him posing for the camera with. Being a go-getter's his prerogative. He seldom used derogatives in any form. His thoughts he spent wisely in penny form. His appetite was wet like many storms for thinking bigger, and doubt's a thing he never would consider. So sure that the universe would deliver like the postman, far too intelligent for one to roast him. His achievements he'd be posting on his socials. Some mistake it for boasting, but he's just vocal. It's not as if the wrong way he'd like to rub his locals. He's the jovial kind, a grafter that worked until it's closing time. And there you have it, your poetry fix for me this week. I hope you enjoyed. Until next week, short and sweet. Take care. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday.